Hello, hello, and welcome to our Halloween special of Ignorance is Myth.
Ooh.
Ooh. I am Cal, and I am here with the darling Witch Blair.
It's good to be back. Brought out my coffin for the Halloween special.
It's your most booked time of the year, so I really appreciate you being here to talk through some myths with me for this wonderful Halloween special.
Always a pleasure. Always got time for you.
Ah, I thought you were going to say always a pleasure, always a chore then.
I was tempted, but I get meaner as these recordings go on. So I thought if I start out a bit nicer.
Yeah, I totally respect that. Totally
They
respect
say
that.
Halloween is like come as you aren't, be what you're not. So I thought I'd start out being just a little bit nice to you.
I love the sass in you. Now you've got your full makeup on, your full drag ready to go.
Yeah, and like I'm awake. I'm here. Things are
Yeah.
happening, and I'm aware of them.
Alive and not screaming yet.
Not yet. Not till my husband gets home.
It's been a while since I put a face on. What do you think?
I like that. I like it because you can just like when you're happy, turn your head to one side. When you're sad, turn to the other.
Did that work?
Yeah,
I don't know.
good.
I couldn't decide if I was happy or sad, so I just went for both.
When was the last time you did a face?
Oh god, the last time I put any kind of like face paint and makeup on was,
Are we talking like pre-pandemic?
I think, just slightly after the pandemic was the last show that I performed in. Yeah, it's been a long time. I think I did this pretty quickly considering. Anyway, moving on from our beauty and makeup podcast.
Would you like to learn how not to look like this?
Yeah, call an exorcist.
Yeah, if I did like a makeup like tutorial video, it would be called "Fuck It, That'll Do,"
Yeah,
because that's my mental. My attitude is if they're close enough to clock your makeup, they're close enough for a backhander.
I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. Personal space. It's good for
Personal
the
space. Worry about your own face.
hands, face, space. Anyway, we're not doing all that.
Oh, fuck no.
Let's move into our special Halloween myth. And I'm right in thinking this one is Scottish.
Yes, indeed.
Scottish. We've moved into
So
Scottish.
we've covered Irish now, Scottish. We've still not hit on your Welsh heritage. We need to do a Welsh one next season.
That's appalling, isn't it? Yeah. Do you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make it a little bit Welsh heavy, and maybe next. Wait, I say Welsh heavy. I'm gonna put 2 in instead of none.
Yeah. We have to do the Cauldron of Cerrig.
It's my favorite of all the Welsh ones. It's my favorite, and maybe we can for Rhiannon.
Yeah, Rhiannon or the Selkie.
Oh my goodness, there's so many good ones from Wales.
I know.
We should, yeah, we'll look into that. We'll definitely look into that. Okay, so we are doing today the story of Tam Lin. Okay. Why did we pick this one? You'll find out. It has a Halloween theme. Spooky dooky spooky. To be fair, it's not that spooky. It's quite a lovely one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was reading through it earlier and I thought, oh, that's really, really, it's got like a sweet message. But anyway, let's begin. The Ballad of Tam Lin. And don't panic, we're not going to sing at you.
Don't sing. Oh, the Ballad of Tam Lin. Sung by Adele.
Yeah.
And Tam Lin was my boyfriend and he dumped me, so I made an album about it.
Oh, that was very good, Adele. Well done.
Thanks.
That's exactly how she sounds.
Hashtag cancelled.
Okay, so here we go. Tam Lin. Young women are warned to avoid the beautiful woods of. Now you're going to have to help me here. Is that Carter Howe?
Yeah, Carter Hall.
Carter Hall.
I think.
Hall. Okay. So any Scots who are listening, please don't cancel us. They were told to avoid the beautiful woods of Carter Hall. It is said that these woods are guarded by an otherworldly knight who extracts a toll from any maiden foolish enough to wander there.
Maidens only, so are we safe?
Oh,
Does he
good.
take a toll from twinks? I feel like they're the gay maidens.
I think you'd definitely be abducted.
Well, I'm not a twink, but if there were woods and it was like, oh, any twink that goes in there, there's a knight who will take a toll from you, they'd be queuing.
It's very true, very true. Maybe that's why they don't accept twinks. For anyone listening who doesn't know what a twink is, that is the very slim, usually hairless, young-looking gay men.
Yeah. Who thinks that being young and gay means they don't need a personality. I'm not bitter or annoyed by them, but
We love the twinks. Your face. Either a golden ring, a green cloak, or even her virginity they will take. Oof. Okay. Well, that
who has gold these days? Who has a
Gold?
cloak these days? You're just gonna get raw dog.
The price of gold has shot up recently, so
Does that mean that the price of virginity can go up?
now I've often wondered this. What happens? Like, who decides inflation? You know what I mean?
Bankers and billionaires.
Well, it just doesn't seem in proportion, does it?
No, rarely. Here's something though about virginity. So, if you lose your virginity to someone,
Uh-huh.
they have taken your virginity. Are they once again a virgin? If you only ever slept with virgins, could you have a net gain on virginities?
Could you become a billionaire of virginity? And if like, for example, I mean, very controversial at the moment is the old Bonnie Blue situation.
Yeah.
If you were to then, oh no, but then you couldn't take her virginity. I was just wondering, if somebody has racked up a lot of virginities, could you then go in and take all of the ones they've racked up? This is
Would you just take one at a time? If someone had slept with 10 virgins and therefore had 10 virginities, if you slept with them, would you just get one of them?
or would you get all 10?
Yeah, I love that this is a wellness podcast, by the way. Which is like, so
We're
also with
asking,
the Body Blue thing. I saw this thing the other day. There's like a gay porn star who said he's going to top 1,000 people,
oh my goodness.
which seems. But again, it's like because the whole idea is it's within 24 hours. It's like guys have like a refractory period.
Yeah,
Can you come 1,000 times in 24 hours?
I don't know how that would work
I don't think that
medically.
factors into wellness.
No, I don't think that's very well at all. I don't know. Maybe he's totally well, and
But again,
he's probably
maybe
money on it. So if,
yeah, and maybe it's not about him. If it's him topping 1,000 times, maybe he doesn't have to finish every time. Maybe it's about making the bottoms finish. I don't know. You'll probably have to cut all of this out because it has got nothing to do with what we're here to talk about.
Well,
yeah, sorry.
But, okay, let's go into virginity here, though. The fact that it's something that can be taken, I think, is problematic.
Well, it's a patriarchal thing, you know, for centuries defining the value of women by whether someone had fucked them, and it's just disgusting.
And I've also got a question. Like, so a golden ring to me kind of represents the idea of marriage.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Virginity also has that connotation of you hold your virginity for the person you marry, that sort of thing, especially back in these days. You know what I mean? Where the hell has this green cloak come from? What does that represent?
Because to the good people, you'll never catch me saying the F word. Green is the most sacred color.
Ah, okay.
So it's this idea of these are three different things that have value. Gold is considered to have value. A green cloak, because it is green, is considered to have value. And then virginity has this sort of weird mythological status that we've placed mainly on women for far too long.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's interesting that they all seem to be of the same value to the other people.
Well, to Tam Lin. And the thing is, the one thing that's common amongst these types of myths is that they don't have the same intrinsic values as humans do.
Yes, absolutely true. And that's what kind of makes them so unpredictable, I guess.
Yeah. Like the scariest, I mean, it's the same thing we see with, modern day racism. It's not understanding other people's values or cultures. And then anytime you hear about them because they're different from yours, people become afraid rather than just going, well, they just do things differently.
Yeah, we can just kind of learn to accept them. But I do think when they start to steal people's virginities, that's when we should step in line.
Yeah, but also that's less a sort of a thing about, you know, race, or in this case species, and more a thing of fucking men.
Yeah, completely. Oh yeah, completely agree. That's it. And I think if nobody's being hurt, then we just live and let live.
Yeah, I mean, and obviously the reason why virginity has been put in here as something of value is because guess what? The story was written by a bloke.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on a little bit then.
Yeah, we've done one paragraph. Let's go.
Despite these warnings, the young Janet is very Rocky Horror Picture Show, that, isn't it? Decided to, very, again, fits in with the Halloween theme, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The young Janet decided to visit the woods. While traveling through them, she plucks a rose and Tam Lin appears. Oof.
Very garden centre.
Very garden. Is this like their meet cute moment in the garden center? He asks Janet why she has come to his woods. Janet responds that Carter Hoare had been gifted to her by her father, and that she would come and go as she pleased. Ooh.
Yeah, her father was like the lord of the surrounding lands, and he gifted the woods to her as a present.
Well, I think that is I think that's very interesting, actually. As a Welsh person, it's kind of what happened. You know, we have the Prince of Wales, and this is obviously a Scottish myth, so I imagine they felt quite similar to the Welsh during the English occupation. And you know, the story. The reason we have a Prince and Princess of Wales is because the English king at one time just decided, once he'd taken over Wales, that he would, for his son's birthday or whatever it was, just gave him Wales. Like as though we were just a gift that he could give to his son, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that is, I can imagine back in those days, the Scots would have had a very similar experience to us, where we would have been maybe made to feel like their property, you know?
Yeah.
And the land that we live on. So I can only imagine Tam Lin's situation there when this one.
Like, what do you mean? What do you mean you've been given my woods?
Yeah, right.
But also, there's a sort of a slight link here because we've covered Pandora's box before. Like you sit in here, a lord in your castle, and you gift to your daughter young maiden daughter the woods that are meant to be specifically dangerous to young maidens.
Father of the Year goes to.
Yeah, it's just like, I'm going to give you these woods for you to walk in and travel as you please. By the way, there's 600 men in there, and they all like killing women who are specifically my daughters. Have fun.
Where is the sense?
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, so that is something I thought was very, I don't know, it stood out to me at least, you know.
Well, all property is theft, so
completely. What really does belong to anyone, you know? We're all just people of the earth. We're made of the earth. We'll experience the earth. We just gotta chill out and share.
And when you die, none of it goes with you. So
that's it, you know. You become it. Like wherever you fell, that's where you become.
Because again, this also sort of has the vibes of you know landlords, because it's just like, oh yeah, you know, these woods are clearly, you know, are inhabited by the fair folk, and a human lord has decided, well, because I've managed to convince all the other humans these around that this is mine, it's mine. And it's just like, yeah, because like landlord, it's just serfdom. It's literally, we pay a lord to be allowed to live in a house, often paying their mortgage on the property that they don't even own. The bank owns it, and you just sort of think, wow, we haven't actually come that far along from like living on a lord's land, working your arse off and giving them most of what you make.
There is, I think that makes a very valid point, despite you like anybody's view on whether landlords are right or wrong or whatever. I think it does bring up a very valid point that when you read ancient mythology, you can see how people were treated, the common folk were treated, and you really start to draw the parallels to how it is now, but you just sort of see the little modernistic bow they've wrapped it up in and presented it as something else, you know?
Yeah.
It does really, I think reading mythology does awaken you to that.
It makes you wonder if there is sort of like an inherent part of human nature to try and dominate those around you.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, what feeds it, what encourages people to act on it, and what it doesn't, and what encourages
see it.
fathers to send their daughters into the woods.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you see it in so many other like creatures in the animal kingdom that like have like this sort of pack or society mentality where the strongest one goes, right, you do what I say, and then if there's a threat, I will protect you. And that's what a lot of human society is based on, is the people in charge. You have to do what they say to be able to live on their land. But then if a threat comes from outside of there, they'll protect you. But then there's no one protecting you from the rulers.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's why we occasionally have revolutions when people have had enough.
I've had enough. Anyway, let's go back to the story. When her father, oh no, wait, we skipped ahead. Bear with me.
Last line of second paragraph.
Last line of second paragraph. Thank you very, very much. The two spoke for a time and grew fond of each other very quickly, laying together that very night. Ooh.
I tried to keep it poetic. I didn't put like raw dogged in the woods when I wrote it out for you.
Raw dog. Tam Lin
they grew fond of each other very quickly. Raw dogging like sick freaks in the woods that very night.
I'm surprised they didn't bump into you.
I wonder if the woods of Qatar still exist and if it is a popular dogging site now. Who knows? Cottaging.
Yeah, we'll have to find out. I've got a few people I could text to find out.
We do our research on this podcast.
Yes, purely for research reasons.
Science.
Okay, so after her liaison with Tam Lin, Janet returned home and soon began to show signs of pregnancy. Ooh, when her
not good, unmarried, meant to be a maiden.
When her father confronts her about this, Janet refuses to name the father of the baby, saying only that it was a fairy night. It's a little bit the story of Jesus, that, isn't it? You know?
Yeah, just like no, it was no, I didn't sleep around. It was God.
You know.
I wish people would use that excuse nowadays. No, babe, I didn't cheat on you. I was seduced by a fairy night.
I mean,
I said the F word because we just used it.
It's okay.
It's not. I hate it. But there we go.
But yeah, no, exactly. I think that is a perfectly reasonable excuse, especially when we know how many times in mythology Zeus came down and did that.
Oh yeah. Zeus just imagine like Zeus sitting with Poseidon being like, oh God, that mortal woman is so hot. And Poseidon's like, please stop cheating on your wife. It just makes life terrible. And then she, if you have a demigod with that woman, Hera will kill them. You might even kill this woman that you think is beautiful. And Zeus is like, yeah, I see what you're saying. How about if I fuck her as a swan? Where is the connect?
There's no logic. There's no rhyme or reason to any of it.
Episode is like, I'm going back in the sea. Fuck this. Do
you know what it reminds me of? If you've ever watched The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and you see Kathy Hilton on there, she is so rich and far removed from reality that nothing she says follows the last thing she said. It's a little bit that, just drunk with power that they don't need it.
I both hate people like that and wish I was one of them. It's poor person's prerogative.
Okay, so back to enough of Kathy Hilton. Let's get back to it.
Yeah.
So when she then returns to Carterhaugh and meets again with Tam Lin. The two speak again, and Tam Lin reveals that he is not actually a member of the fair folk. Instead, he is a human who was stolen by the fairy queen. Ooh. He had been riding his horse with his grandfather and fell from his saddle. The fairy queen caught him and carried him away.
So I can't help but picture here, like these two blokes riding along. he falls like the queen of the fae is hiding in the bushes, and he falls off the horse as she just looks up, grabs him, and runs away.
Over her shoulder.
Yeah, mine now. And if that isn't just dating in the gay community, I don't know what is. Some queen waiting for a twink to fall off his horse.
Giving the twinks a lot of airtime today.
Yeah, well, it's Halloween, and they'll all be wearing harnesses and cat ears soon. So I'll be voicing my opinions quite strongly then.
So, and for anyone who's not familiar with the fair folk and the fairy folklore, it is something that they do, that you can be taken into. They will try to trick you. They will trap you in their world.
Or stealing babies, replacing them with changelings, or just a stick that was enchanted to look like a baby. Also, forgot to put this in here. When Janet returns to the woods, she isn't looking for Tam Lin. She's looking for a certain herb that is basically like an herbal plan B, like to abort the child.
Oh, wow.
And Tam Lin finds her and says, "Wait, let me tell you my tragic backstory first, and maybe we can sort this out."
Trauma bonding, everyone.
Yeah.
Saving relationships since back in Tam Lin's day.
Yeah.
So Tam Lin also reveals that he is in fear for his life. Every 7 years, the fairy folk must pay a tithe. I don't know this word. Is that like a fee?
A tithe is like a tax, or like a lot of religions. Interestingly, no Christians do this. They're meant to tithe a percentage of their earnings to charity.
Oh yes,
it's a type of tax.
Mm-hmm. Okay, interesting. Well, they must pay the tithe to hell, one of their own people. Oof. So there's a sacrifice to be had. Sacrifice to hell. Tam Lin believes that this year it is he himself who will be chosen, and begs Janet to help him.
Yeah, one of the reasons why the fair folk are thought to have kidnapped humans and made them live among them is so that they could give them, because they count as one of them after that, could give them instead of one of their own people as the tithe.
Wow. So humans are just scapegoats to these people. Yeah. Okay, so he tells her that the tithe will be paid on Halloween.
Relevant.
Here it is.
We told you.
It made its head above the water somehow. He tells her that the tithe will be paid on Halloween, and a cohort of fairies will ride through on their way to pay it. Janet,
sorry, that's my typo.
That's okay. Janet will recognize Tam Lin from his white horse and pull him from the saddle.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
She downright fucked this boy. She will recognize him no matter what color horse he's on, I would hope.
One would hope, unless this definitely wasn't her first role in the hay.
Also, it was in the woods. It was at night. Maybe she hasn't seen him properly.
Yeah, that's very true. And are you honestly telling me you remember the face of everyone you rolled in the hay with?
She fucked him a few months ago, and she's talking to him and looking at him right now when they're coming up with this plan.
Yeah, you think she would sort of like make a conscious effort to remember his face?
Yeah. If he's a knight, maybe I'll have a helmet on or something, and maybe I'm being cruel, but
no, I don't think he's got a helmet. I can't imagine.
Oh, he has a helmet, and it's been inside her. Is this podcast marked for over 18s?
I mean, I'm gonna have to put some sort of explicit warning.
Warning: this podcast contains the Witch Blair, and they have no filter.
Yeah, should not be consumed by anyone. Yes, so his white horse pulls him from the saddle. Tam Lin tells her that it will be difficult, as the queen will transform him into all manner of shapes to force Janet to let go, but that she must not let go. If Janet is able to successfully hold on to Tam Lin, he will be freed.
Transformation magic. very integral to myths of the fair folk and the good people.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's very interesting that I like that it's kind of showing that in his transition, in his move from becoming fair folk to human again, it's going to come with some growing pains, and she's just got to hold on to that if she wants it to.
Yeah.
I
And
think
it's also the idea that if she wants to have him, she has to go through something
yeah, absolutely.
difficult. You know, nothing worth having is ever easy,
No, and it
which is
comes
why I'm not worth having, because I'm so easy.
in.
I'm not. I'm difficult in every sense of the word, but I'm also a slut.
You do it so well.
I know.
So when Halloween comes, Janet is prepared. She waits there.
Also, I just read she's got to pull this guy from the horse. She is quite pregnant.
Yeah, that's not very safe, is it?
Well,
No.
but again, like, you know, oh, you need. I do like that it's, you know, in, like, you know, one of these old stories, the woman rescuing the man.
That's such a refreshing
But
change.
but also he's told her how to do it, but she still is going to have to do all the work.
Yeah, completely. And she's gonna
Just
have
like
full
women
food.
in marriage, men tell you what to do. I'm better now in a lot of situations, but the man says what to do when the woman does it.
That's very
You
true.
can always see in old stories the mentality of the time.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's so true. Absolutely. Right. So she was prepared, and she waits there where Tam Lin told her to. And when she sees the white horse appear, she leaps from her hiding spot and seizes him from the saddle.
Go on,
As,
lass.
Go on, get him, get him. As Tam Lin warned, the fairy queen transforms him into a number of shapes: a cat with sharp claws, a snake with sharp teeth, and a fox which wriggles and writhes. Through the scratches and the bites, Janet keeps tight hold of Tam Lin until eventually the fairy queen transforms him into a burning hot coal. Janet takes the coal and plunges it into the cold well. Tam Lin reappears as a naked man, and Janet covers him with her mantle.
Boo! Show us the dick.
I like that though. I think, you know, the queen was thinking, how can I make this woman drop him?
Yeah.
And actually, you know, you'd think hot coal, of course, she's not going to be able to hold a hot coal, but that actually inspired the action that freed him.
Yeah, in some of the versions of the myth, Tam Lin does say the last thing will be like a burning coal or even just a ball of fire, and then you have to plunge me into water. But also he does say, because it says like through the scratches and bites in this version, but he says that because he loves her, no matter what he's turned into, he won't harm her. So she doesn't actually take any damage from this. And the reason she places her mantle, her cloak on him, that's her claiming him as her own. And that's the final like thing that breaks the enchantment over him.
Wow. And I wonder if it's green.
Probably.
Yeah. In the movie that I would make of it, it would be green.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
we in the movie you would make of it, we'd get a long, slow shot of him before he was covered.
Oh, like Daniel Craig coming out of the well.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, so the fairy queen is furious with Janet, angry for her stealing her most beautiful night. But despite her anger, there is nothing that she can do.
I'm just picturing that moment in Rocky Horror now. Janet, the Queen, Tam Lin, Dr. Scott.
Yeah, back and forth, back and forth. Oh, the
Damn
Shrek.
it, Janet.
Yeah. The fairy queen states that if she had known Tam Lin would end up like this in a relationship with a mortal woman, then she would have petrified his eyeballs the day they met. Oh,
Red flag.
yeah, that's a terrifying thing. Could you imagine? The fairy queen leaves, conceding her defeat. Janet has won Tam Lin's freedom, and the pair are free to raise a child together. Wow.
Happy ending. Speaking of, the first thing that's just popped into my head, with the Queen transforming him into all these different things and Jack refusing to let go,
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a message there of making your own assessments of people, because this is almost like, oh, I'm Janet, this is Tam Lin, my boyfriend, and then there's this person saying, no, he's a snake, he's going to hurt you, he's this, he's that.
Yeah.
And it has that thing of like, but Tam Lin had said, no matter what, I will not hurt you, I cannot hurt you, I love you. And Janet has faith in that and isn't harmed. And
Yeah.
no matter what the Queen turns him into, or no matter what poisonous rumors might be fed to you, you have to consider what you know, and also what is the motive of the person feeding you this information. If someone is going to take their time to come to you and say you can't trust this person,
Mm-hmm.
you need to think, well, do they have my best interests at heart? What do they want? Because here, what the Queen wants is she wants to keep Tam Lin.
Yeah.
And it's this idea of like, I don't know if this is too much of a stretch, the thing I'm saying, but the make your own assessments of people. You can bear in mind what other people say, but always consider that when someone else is telling you something about someone, what motive do they have for saying that?
I completely agree as well. And because, like, even on the flip side of that, she was told not, all the women were told not to go into those woods because they'll be, if, pretty much their virginity would be taken, or they'd be robbed, or they'd have this and they'd have that. And the actual only thing that happened was a really handsome knight came up to her and said, "What are you doing here?" And she went, "Oh, this is my dad gave it to me." And he went, "Oh, cool. How are you?" And then she fell in love. And like they'd made him out to be this evil, nasty thing that was going to steal things from them. And actually it was all made up from her father and the people.
We don't know how he's treated any other maiden that's been through there, to be fair. And he did still extract his toll from her.
Oh, he did.
But I think it is a case of like, because obviously always keep an eye out for red flags.
Mm-hmm.
And if someone is saying things about someone like they're dangerous or they're going to take advantage of you, blah, 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 you should be on guard for that.
Yeah.
But don't just take secondhand information as written, I think is the point I'm trying to make. Like, make your own assessment, but do so in such a way where you keep yourself safe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because also, like, it's because you can also have the reverse of this. Like, just that, Tam Lin says, oh, she's going to turn me into all these things. So it's like, Tam Lin, imagine like this is just a modern dating couple, Tam Lin and Janet. Janet meets this dude called Tam Lin in a fucking walkabout, and he's like, oh, come to this party on Halloween night, but by the way, my ex will be there and she's going to say all these horrible things about me.
Mm-hmm.
That's an immediate red flag, because like, one, why are you going to this party that your ex is actually throwing?
Right.
And two, anyone who says to you, by the way, if you ever meet this person I used to be with, they're going to say lots of horrible things about me. Like, if you're trying to preempt that shit, that comes across suspicious.
Yeah.
But you have to form your own opinions of people based on getting as much information as you can.
Absolutely. I completely agree with that. I think that's pretty fair to say. And I think Janet definitely learned that, because obviously her situation, being told he was not right, and then I guess she even saw him become all these things in front of her.
Yeah, and Tam Lin also said that he wouldn't be able to harm her. So there's this cat with sharp claws scratching at her, and it's not actually hurting her. So she's realized that he was telling the truth.
Yeah.
Because I think if in any of these transformations he'd actually hurt her, she'd have been like, would have dropped him, and that would have been like, well, you lied to me, so F you.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. And I think, yeah, you're right. That really shows like you can't take everything at face value.
Yeah, and don't just believe what you're told.
Mm.
Because like Janet's told that these woods are dangerous, and she goes to find out for herself.
Yeah.
And I think like in a modern day thing, it's like, but just all the horrible racism going on in the country at the moment, because people are being told that you can't trust immigrants. They do this, they do that. We need to keep our women safe from these foreign men. It's like, well, actually, most women who are assaulted in this country are assaulted by someone they know who is also white. And then it's like, you need to do your own research, because if you just believe there's stuff. If the people in power are telling you you can't trust this, it's dangerous, blah 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 blah, you have to think, what are they getting at? Are they concerned for my safety, or are they trying to weaponize my fear, which is what so many people in power do?
That's very valid. I think that is a very valid point of
Because
fear.
also there is an element of, in here, being in the woods at night is a dangerous thing to do alone, no matter your gender, identity, or biological sex. And throughout history, humans have told younger humans scarier stories because, quite frankly, don't go in there because I said so is never a good enough reason. So that's why we started telling stories like, oh, don't go in there, there's a big bad wolf, or there's a man who lives in the willow tree who will take you away and I'll never see you again. Because creating a valid, credible threat is something that, and generating fear will keep people away from things. But that has been used for good because you can't explain the real complexities and threats to children, but it's also used for evil by adults to other adults.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think you're right. I think you've got to assess your sources. You've got to know, don't let the world feed you with a narrative. It's got to be your own opinion.
And don't let fear be the only lens you look at the world through.
Yeah. No.
You look at the world through rose tinted glasses, and that's why you're happy and healthy and well.
Completely.
Whereas I am bitter, angry, tired mess.
It's so true though. You've got to look at the world with a sense of hope. And that's why I wanted to do this mythology-based podcast for this platform, was because I wanted to instill a sense of magic for people, because the world can be so draining and so, it's one thing after the next. It can be so pessimistic. To have that sort of sense of myth and magic, wonder, exactly. To have
people do not look at the world with wonder anymore, because we're constantly bombarded with news about how terrible things are. But even the horror of the world doesn't have the drama or the wonder. It's just dull and grey, and that's done on purpose, because that's harder to be inspired to fight back against, because it's so ordinary.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think I've said this on this podcast before, but it's like, we read like, Grimm's tales and and they have Disney movies, the kids, where it says, oh, be good and be true, see the wonder in the world, believe in magic. And then the second you hit, like 16 now, it's like, oh, you're still watching that shit, you're still reading that shit, that's for kids, grow up, the world's a harsh, cruel place. It's like, why bother saying this stuff to kids in the first place if you expect them to forget it the second they hit puberty? And I think we need more childlike wonder and belief, because that generates trust in other people.
Yeah.
And the harder people people do this tough guy routine of, oh yeah, I'm gonna fight back against anyone who tries to hurt me and mine, or these foreigners, oh, I'm gonna go out there and fucking deck them. That's not bravery, that's cowardice. That's trying to kill something before it's a threat.
Yeah.
The biggest sign of bravery you can have is to choose to trust in other people, to not want to come and fuck with you.
Yeah.
Because the truth is, most people just want to get through their lives and look after the people they care about. They're not trying to take something away from you. The only ones who are doing that are the ones who already have most of the stuff. Sorry to turn this into yet another rant about billionaires and the politicians they own, but we need more hope and wonder in the world, and it's a drastically reduced commodity, and it's done on purpose. When people don't have hope, they're not going to risk what little they have, because they don't think that there's any hope for that risk paying off with something better.
For sure. And on that note, I think it's time we wrap it up.
I think we need to just try and find what, because if we end there on me saying something that depressing, we're like kind of contributing to the problem. Like, because with all of that, the fact is that Janet, it does choose to ignore the warnings and the threats of danger.
Mhm.
Because they say in some versions of the story that like Janet is in this castle that her father rules over, and all of his knights are like old men that
Mhm.
he's and the father is trying to figure out which one of them to marry his daughter off to so that she's protected when he dies.
Yes.
And she looks at that boring, ordinary, quite not even just like dull, but it's quite horrible future being set up for her, and goes, "This is, this risk is worth taking for
Mhm.
any possible better future."
Mhm.
And the thing is, she's not at risk of death.
No.
There's no mention that there's any of these old knights would treat her cruelly or anything. But
Mm.
she chooses to escape the trap of what's expected for her to just, carry on and have no wonder in her life. And she
Yeah.
takes a risk and it works out for her. It doesn't always for people. But that's the reason why stories like this matter. It inspires you to go, do you want to feel the way you feel now forever? Or do you want to try and affect a change?
Exactly.
And what will you risk for that?
Yeah. I like that because that does leave us with a bit of hope. That leaves
Yeah.
us with a knowledge that,
Pandora's jar.
yes, it can be scary, but you have the means to make the change you need.
Yeah. And even if this had ended with her not rescuing Tam Lin and losing him, she'd have had that adventure.
Yeah. She
She'd
had
have
an
had a
option.
child that she would have loved.
Yeah.
And maybe she'd have just been like, no, Dad, I don't need a husband. When you pass away, I'm the lady of the land.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I like that. That's a much better place to leave it. Thank you, Blair.
Yeah. You can
Amazing.
tell it's like Halloween and flip reverse because I was like, no, we have to find hope.
Yeah, what's going on?
And you were like, that's bleak. I think we're done. Fuck it, that'll do.
Wow, what a roller coaster. Thank you so much for joining me again today.
Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Wonderful Halloween special. Happy Halloween to everybody listening. And happy Halloween to you as well, Blair.
Yeah, and if this is the first Ignorance is Myth you've seen, you need to get yourself over to the Patreones to see the whole first series is on there.
Absolutely, the whole first series. There's 10 episodes, I believe, right?
Yeah, and I'm saying first series because we're already planning a second, I believe.
Spooky dooky dooky. Brilliant. All right, well, I will catch up with you soon. And thank you, everyone, for listening. Mwah. Absolute pleasure. Happy Halloween.
Ah.